Hi, my name is Joanne. I'm the CEO of Strobrie. We make cakes, cheesecakes, and lots of other sweet stuff. So when I finished college, I took up information technology in college and I realized it wasn't what I wanted to do. I loved it, but there was still something missing. So I decided to try other things and reach out for other options. When I was little, I used to bake with my mom. She used to bake cakes, wedding cakes. So there's always been that background of baking in my family. I went to college. I studied IT, information technology, for 4 years. And after I was done, I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. There was something missing. So I decided to take a 6-month course to kind of develop my baking skills. And that was the beginning. I came back to Nigeria and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I had the IT side, I had the baking side. But slowly in my mom's kitchen, I tested recipes and realized that I actually enjoyed baking more than coding, so I delved more into baking. I didn't really have much in terms of savings, but I started small, which was key to everything. Most of the capital in my business actually came from the business, because every small thing that I made of the business, I put it back into the business. It grew slowly, and that's how I bought more equipment. I invested in rent, and slowly everything basically came from the business. I wouldn't say I did it all by myself. Of course, my family played a major key role. They helped with the major things, examples, the first mixer, the first rent. But eventually I got to the point where I could actually stand on my own and know that everything was coming from the business. Thank you. My biggest push, I would say, is to know that I'm actually doing it. To know that it's something, because when I was in college, I'd be at home and just be thinking about what I'm gonna do. It was just so very unclear, but there was this idea. The idea was just in the back of my mind, and I thought that, oh yes, it's possible to do this idea. But going through it and just realizing that, this was actually just an idea and it actually happened, is one of the biggest push, to know that it started just from inside my mind, but slowly it's out in the world and people are responding well to it. People are happy about it and they understand. And that just makes it easier and makes me want to continue more. I think my big break was the response I got from customers. When I started into baking, I realized there are actually a lot of people, a lot of businesses already doing cakes. And mostly everybody started from home. People were doing cakes at home. And when I finally decided to come out of the house to get an actual shop, I wasn't sure how people would take it, how it would go. But the fact that I got such good response from customers meant that the business was actually worth it. It meant that the business would actually grow. And from there on, that's when I actually said yes, that this is working because of my customers, because they're happy about the products. Yes, what drives me crazy, I mean, it's not having consistency, especially in Nigeria. You can't say that, you can rely on something, because it's never always going to be the same. Today you can have light and tomorrow you don't have light, or you could want to deliver a cake and the road is so messed up that it scatters before you get there. So after putting all your effort, there's always something there that kind of messes it up, because you can't rely on it. I think that's what drives me the most crazy. If I could just say that, yes, I know that this is going to be the way it is, it's going to be consistent, it's going to be okay, and the half of the work will be taken off me. But there's always a contingency plan. You have to make plan A, you have to make plan B, and you have to make plan C, because there's no way that plan A would just be okay. There have been a lot of worse days. So when you pile that up, it usually comes down to days when you're short of time, you have things to do but not enough time. I guess that comes to my time management skills, but it also has to do with creating something and it doesn't get to the customer, or making a cake and it doesn't get to the customer on time, or it doesn't get to the customer in good condition. Because as much as you try and plan for everything, things will mess it up. Things will come and destroy it, and you don't have a choice but to do the best you can do, because you can't have any excuses. You can't say, oh, sorry, this happened, or oh, it wasn't my fault, there was no light, or any of that. So the worst days are when, as much as you just want to crumple up and just say, I'm not doing it again, I'm tired, you can't. You just have to keep going, and that stretches you out, it stretches you thin, it just takes everything from you, and at the end of the day you feel like you've given everything and it's still not enough. One of the biggest problems with pressure is because I'm always there, so it feels like the pressure keeps building and it gets to the point where you just have to let it out. I try to rely on people around me, especially when it comes to my staff, so that the pressure doesn't build up so bad. If you can rely on people around you, then the pressure is shared all around. It doesn't always fall on me. But other than that, if some days that the pressure just too much, I just kind of take a step back. On days the pressures are really tough, I try to just take a step back and reassess everything. And the very first thing that needs to be taken care of, I start from there and move on to the next thing and then move on to the next, not try to tackle everything at the same time. I definitely think that my secret advantage is my age. When people find out that I'm only 24, they're kind of impressed. They're like, wow, you're so young. And I think they want me to succeed more because they understand how hard it is to get into business, especially at an early age. And the fact that I've started early means I have more time to adjust, to make mistakes, to grow. And I guess it makes it a lot easier. To say that I would step away from Strobrie would definitely be when it gets to a point where I know I'm no longer making any profit and that I'm sacrificing myself for nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's all about knowing that you're actually creating something and you're earning out of that creativity, that creation. So if I were to say that, oh, I'm doing all of this, I'm spending all my efforts, putting everything, and I'm not making any money, then you have to step back and reassess and figure out what actually you can do that you love and you're still gonna make profit at the end of the day. I think one of the most important thing to say that that's the reason why Strobrie is actually going okay is because I do it really slowly and I started really small. You can't decide that you want to go into business and just do all at once and say you want to get this expensive place, you want to put in money that you don't have. It's not going to work because you need to go with the flow. You need to go at a pace to know that, oh, this isn't working, scrap it and do something else, not just rush into it. So if you really want to actually do something in business, my only advice is just go slow.